Sorry guys, I got interrupted with a phone call, so this is the second part of today's video. I was talking about Honor Flight Chicago and recognizing Vietnam veterans now. But along the journey, I met a couple of families that have participated in the Honor Flight, not on the front end, but on the back end. And they're just hearing them speak of it. I will encourage all of you to see what you can do. I know my family and I are going to look to be a part of it as we get settled and move on here. So, to those that don't know, Honor Flight is a nonprofit organization that takes veterans of our past wars, and they essentially fly these folks to D.C. Along that route, they have basically a chaperone with them. Now remember, as I mentioned, we were talking about World War II and Korean War veterans. So we're talking about some very aged folks. As we get towards the Vietnam War, you're still going to have some people that are going to be less healthy than others. But anyway, these folks have a chaperone that goes with them throughout the journey, basically a friend for a day, pushes a wheelchair, is a caretaker to them, and so forth. They have a enlisted escort. I don't know if they go on the plane with them or they meet them and greet them off the plane, but our current military meets these folks. So there's a touching of old and new, past and present. And they escort them around that day. And these folks go and get to see a memorial and a monument attributed to them and their sacrifices and their efforts. And many of them have never seen this monument before. And that part of it is just amazingly emotional and touching for them. And at the end of the day, they get back on a plane, and there's where you and I can come into play, even if we don't have the time or the ability to volunteer on the front end and be some of those people. These folks get back on a plane, and when they come home, what they don't know is they come home to this hero's welcome. They get off the plane, and there's this line of people cheering for them and applauding and clapping for them. And I met some amazing people on the journey, in particular Scott and Kelly Rice and their family, and I'm trying to think who else was involved. But they took part in this moment, and to be able to just give your time and say thanks to these folks, but they don't expect it, they don't ask for it, and to have that, to come home to that, apparently that is almost as overwhelming as the emotion when they're at the monument and the memorial. So that's a little bit about Honor Flight if you haven't followed me in the past. To update you guys on a little bit about me, and I'm probably going to share something with you. Some of you may think I'm dumb for, some of you may not think I'm dumb for it, but I just figured I'd share it with you guys. So my kids are in the living room right now, doing some things. They're off from school today as it's Veterans Day. One of the consequences of me taking my journey, as you guys know, is that I had resigned my employment before I left, and I certainly wasn't wealthy enough to be living off of a stash of money to get me through the journey. So I fell way behind in some of my bills, and I knew that was part of the consequence. I'm thankful my house is above my head, and I'm able to work with that. But just so you know, my phone was blowing up with bill collectors. I have credit cards, I have a home, I have a car, I've got a couple credit cards, I've got a loan, and of course these people wanted to be paid, and there was nothing more demoralizing for me being out there than not having an answer for them. So I got to the point of not taking their calls or blocking their number, because again, you're out there walking and the phone comes, and if you answer it and you speak to these folks, they have a job to do. They got to collect money, and their job is to try to get money from you. I didn't have an answer when I was going to have money for them. I didn't know what the plan was. I knew there were going to be consequences as a result. Anyway, one of the things I came home to was a lawsuit being filed against me by one of the creditors. And so I have to go appear in court today. And the first part of me was like, hey, you know what, I'll arrange for the kids to have somebody with them, and I'll leave them home, and I'll go take care of this. But as I was talking to kids this morning, I decided against that. I decided that I'm going to take them to court with me. And there's a reason for that. And you guys can agree or disagree with my parenting. But my style has always been I try to expose my kids as much as possible. And I almost treat them like little adults. And I don't believe in protecting them from things in the world, whether they're bad or good, whether they're but I think it's going to be a learning experience for them on two levels. One is I think they'll get to experience some of what our court system is. It's nothing criminal, so I don't anticipate, them saying, my kids, are you going to jail, Daddy? No, I'm not going to go to jail. It's not a criminal case. I didn't break any laws. I just broke, an agreement or a contract. So I want them to be able to see how the court system works. And some of you may think that young kids don't belong in a court. This isn't, First District Court of New York City. This is a small magisterial court here in York, PA. But I think it's good to get them to see and expose them to it. Who knows if someday one of them says, hey, I'd like to be a magistrate, or I'd like to be an attorney, or hey, I might want to be a career criminal. No, I'm kidding. Although it wouldn't surprise me if my son had that kind of thought process. I remember he's mini-me. So, no, but I don't joke about that. But no, I think exposing them to that, if they ever get into an incident where they get a ticket when they're young or things like that, they'll be a little more familiar with it. Secondarily, I think there's another benefit from it too, and that is to show them that when you make decisions like I did, that there are consequences to them. I'm not proud that I'm being sued for lack of payment to a company, but I don't know what's going to be held here when I go to court at 10:45. But I also don't want to have my kids live that world through rose-colored glasses that says, Daddy's awesome and Mommy's awesome and nobody makes mistakes, and their dad made a conscious choice, whether you agree with it or not, whether you believe it or not, to do what I did. And it's not all stars and fireworks and what a wonderful thing. There's some very not bad things, but I mean there were some negatives to doing what I did for sure. But I had weighed them out beforehand. I knew they were there, and I made the choice to go forward anyway. Whether you disagree with that or not, that's on you, and that's okay. I don't have any regrets about what I did. In fact, I'm pretty proud of what I did and the friends I made along the way, and I think my life has changed because of it, and I think my kids' lives will be changed because of it. But again, it wasn't a vacation, and it wasn't, hey, I did this, and there aren't some consequences to it. There are consequences, and I think it's important to share that with the kids as well. Again, I treat my kids like little adults, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. It works for us. But I think now I'm looking forward to bringing them with me. I know they'll behave while they're there, but I think they deserve to see. So when they become adults, should they ever have to be in a situation where they have to appear in a court, it won't be like foreign to them, and maybe it puts them down a career path they didn't know before. And then, of course, it also lets them know that, when you just make a decision or something, because what I did, a lot of people recognize was pretty out there. Not a lot of people would do what I did. And I'm not saying it was a smart thing, I just said I did it. But there is a downside to doing it, and this is part of it. So I think it's only fair that I share that with you guys and with them as well. So anyway, stay tuned. Happy Veterans Day. I'll try to get Gary's article out there. I'll try to get that song posted. I welcome you guys if you have anything to share in terms of songs or things that are meaningful, any stories. Again, this is what our site's about. Please share them. I want to add one more thing. People keep asking me about the book as I meet folks along the way. I met Stuart yesterday, a veteran. Thank you, Stuart. Dear journey friend. It was so special to meet him. I've met people I never met before. Continue to do so, and it's really what's the word I'm looking for? Not enlightening, but empowering, I guess, to meet these folks. Anyway, Trying to do the book, most of you know I did accept a job offer, and I'll be starting this week. The one thing I underestimated about the book was the amount of research that I've been doing that's delayed me a little bit from banging it out like I want to. Because I wrote chapters each day, but I did videos and don't want to miss anything. I want to try to be as complete as I can for you. So here's what I'm asking you guys. If you're still following me and you're willing, please reach out to me. You can text me 717-554-9847. If you're willing to help me do the research a little bit, that would be greatly helpful. I'd appreciate it. It'll involve you in part of the book. But what I mean by the extent of your help would be something as simple as this. I can go into YouTube and I can search a day, and I can hear my 2 or 3 videos that day, and I make notes. The weather, the people I met, bullet points, because that was my research. That's why I did 3 videos a day. Keep my mind fresh so I didn't forget anything. But what I'd like to do, if possible, is to maybe, if you're interested, because there's a lot of, 45 minutes a day for 6 or 7 days, or maybe assign somebody a week or so to say, hey, can you cover from these dates to these dates? And just get out a pen and pad as you listen to the videos and make bullet points. Hey, Monday, this date was, sunny, and on your video you mentioned running into Charlie or Mary, and you did this day, and and even you as the listener, I know what I'm trying to convey, but maybe something struck you a certain way, and you could do Monday, and maybe do a week at a time. And if I had, let's say, 15 of you, each do a week, and then email me, what your synopsis is, along with my emails, I could probably do that without having to watch every video myself, and that would be greatly helpful, especially if I start a job and have a little bit less time now to do that. If you're interested in that, if you'd like to help me in that regard and be part of the book in some capacity, please reach out to me and let me know, and I'll assign people, weeks going from there. I got the first week I'm doing what I've already done myself, which was July 9th through the 14th or 15th, I guess. So the next week would be from there. So if you're interested, I'd love to kind of incorporate you guys. If you're willing, let me know. Shoot me a text, and then we can assign it and go from there. All right? Thanks, guys. I love you. Have a great day. I hope I didn't share too much with you guys. Hope you believe in what I'm doing. This is all kind of on to the after the journey story that I'll be, somehow getting out to you guys as well with a video, book, magazine, vlog, whatever. So, love you guys. Have yourselves a great Veterans Day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.